you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
In Fairfield County, something new comes across my desk every day. Crimes are committed, cases are solved, and a community is made safe by the hardworking employees of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phelan, a weekly program here on LSN Television. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week. We're also carried by a couple of our radio affiliates here in Lancaster and beyond. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the students and the staff here at Fairfield Christian Academy that produced this program and put it together. Our executive producer, Kelly Roberts, lines up the guests, gets the questions together, and does a terrific job. Great guest for the next couple weeks, Shanna Littleton. Good to see you, Shanna.
Nice to see you too.
This is going to be a great show, and recently selected as executive director of Grace Haven Ministry.
Yes.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Grace Haven. We're going to talk a little bit about you. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Well, we moved here a year and a half ago from Amish country back in Holmes County.
Okay.
So I moved to Lancaster. My husband got a position here at Fairfield Christian Church, and we decided this is God's calling. So we moved right away. When He says go, we go. So,
that's good to be obedient, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So.
Well, Amish country. I've
Yes.
been there a few times. What was that like? Did you grow up there, or is that just where you?
I did. I lived there since I was 3. So that was a while ago, but very authentic community. You have a lot of the handmade items and just the slower culture and fruit markets and homemade furniture by hand, and so it's very authentic community.
Now, did you have any Amish friends?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
I think it's interesting. Loretta and I have gone there just on the weekend trips and things, and is it like Witness? What was that with Harrison Ford had that movie about the Amish?
Oh, and everyone always has like a misconception of the culture and just the Amish beliefs and things like that. But once you really are there and you become very connected in the community, it's not what people think that it is.
Right,
So,
I bet because there's probably a rather disconnect, and we have preconceived ideas on the buggy and things like that.
Absolutely.
But that's pretty interesting. You have 4 children?
Yes, 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, ages 11 down to 15 months.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they keep us busy.
That's a lot. Well, the other thing, looking at some of the information, you've been to Haiti.
Yes.
2 times on
2
missionary trips.
Yeah, I was scheduled to go 3 other times, but because of our pregnancies, those were 3 trips that I had to sit out. But we have friends that have an organization with Haitian Christian Outreach, and we network with them and send teams down, and have been able to go down as well and spend time there. So I feel like a little piece of my heart is always left in Haiti. So.
Having never gone on a mission trip out of the United States, people always told me they always get more than they give. And secondly, it can be rather life-changing.
It is, absolutely. A lot of those changes are on a personal level and can vary with different people. They can get something totally different out of each trip. And so I've got to experience that twice. You just get something different every time you go.
What's Haiti like?
Chaos.
Really?
Haiti is chaos.
Okay.
There's very little structure to the country. And lack of opportunity. I think some people think that if you just send money, that will, fix the poverty, and that's not the case. It's lack of opportunity. So by joining and networking with organizations who, instead of just sending money down, they're actually teaching them things and providing opportunity for them, that's where you see the bigger impact.
Any personal story that kind of comes to mind is something like you were involved in? Say, oh wow, this is.
There's a medical clinic on the compound where we stay in Haiti. So to see what that brings for the community, that was established just a few short years ago, and just to see the difference of the impact that makes has been almost life-changing for them, and it's very inspiring for us to return to the States and know that they do have opportunity for medical care.
And we are such a, myself included, pretty spoiled in this country for the things that we take for granted, or sometimes the things we complain about. But you see some of the devastation or some of the lack of resources or stuff. It's got to be. It's got to make you. I almost feel guilty sometimes when I think about it. Yeah, I bet.
When we return than when we go down, because we see how wasteful things are handled here, and just how much we have that we take for granted, and how much unnecessary items that we have.
Right. Do you ever feel like it threatened or not?
No, I mean, there's areas you have to be cautious.
Okay.
But if you're networking with an organization, they'll take those precautions for you, so you can go down and just really get a lot out of the trip.
Are you going back?
I would love to go back every year.
Really? Oh my God! You've been there twice.
Yeah, I have.
Very cool.
But there's also, there's other places too that you feel adventurous and you want to see where else you're being called to go. So I'm just kind of letting God tell me where I need to go next right now.
And you also are involved in photography.
Yeah, it's been a passion of mine for years on the side.
Okay.
And I've had people ask, why don't you do this full time? And it's an enjoyment to do that on the side as a hobby. And I really think that
So it's a hobby, not a business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been able to do weddings and engagement pictures and senior pictures and family portraits. And so I really have a heart for capturing those moments for people on the side.
You know what has kind of surprised me over the years, Shanna, as far as when I think about photography, this actually just came to mind, that when you look at photographs or stills, they transcend time. I mean, we've always had them since the beginning of photography into today. But when I think about the home videos, at one time when my kids were younger, I mean, we took lots and lots of videos that we'll probably never watch. I mean, we got boxes of these things, but it's kind of not. I don't see as much anymore of that.
Well, I think everything, even with media, has gone small scale.
Yes.
So you can do so much just with your phones.
Right.
Or, they have like the smaller, they're like video bloggers where it's just like a very small handheld, video. So it's gone from, extreme heavy equipment down to something that could be handheld. So
let's talk a little bit about Grace Haven Ministry, executive director of Grace Haven. And I guess for our listeners or viewers that may not even know what Grace Haven is about, tell us a little bit about that ministry.
It is a ministry that serves women who are in between or that are coming out of jail and they need a good foundation and a safe environment to get their feet underneath them. And so it's a place where they can feel safe for a while and establish new connections in the community, safe connections, and it's really important for them to have that option to have a place to go. And
there's 3 homes.
Yes. Okay,
tell us a little bit about what happens like when a young lady would get out of jail, or kind of procedurally what happens? How do they get into the ministry, and then what are some of the things that they can expect?
One of the things that just recently is networking with some of the organizations and people who are plugged in with the jail. How can we better the community and better serve, the residents that are coming to us? And so we have a better, expectation of where they're at, in their personal journey, and what we are being able to prep for when they come. So some may have a greater need, or maybe just a more difficult broken story.
Right.
So we can network with different people now to get a better way to help them when they do come in the door.
Yeah.
So that's been very helpful even for me
Right.
to make those connections.
Right, and I know you're just kind of getting started.
Yeah.
So there's still, there's a training curve, and like anything else, it's kind of like it's a difficult ministry as you find out, because you have a need for volunteers. You have most of the girls, if not all the girls, are addicted to heroin or opiates, or addicted to drugs.
When I started doing a lot of research and networking, the percentage and the increase of addiction, even in Lancaster, is just off the scale. And it's heartbreaking, but it's also inspiring, and it gives me determination of, how do you break that cycle? How do you fill that gap in their, addiction?
Yeah.
So
And going back a little bit, did you see that in Holmes County?
It's present everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think being in that culture, it's not as great.
Yes.
It's not as exposed.
Right.
But I mean, it's everywhere, and I think
Right.
for people to think that it's not is almost like a naive perception.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with that, and but it's really wonderful to have some kind of a place where, rather than go back to their drug dealing boyfriends, where they can go.
Absolutely.
Do most of these girls come out of the jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
Now you're also part of the jail ministry?
Yes.
As part of that?
Yes.
Tell me what do they do in the jail ministry? What goes on at when you meet?
We go in, and unfortunately I've only been able to attend one.
Okay.
Just because of the transition and things
right.
that have been of need at the houses.
Okay.
But it's good to be able to go in and talk to them and meet with them. It's very important that they can see that there is an opportunity and a chance on the other side, because I think that can get lost, during that time period.
We're almost out of time. So what I'd like you to do is, if there's a way that people can get in touch with you about maybe volunteering, maybe they have someone that they may think that this would be a good fit, how do they get in touch with you, Shanna?
They can call me directly. It's 740-808 6255.
Okay.
And they can call me directly, leave a message. I'll get back to them, with any questions that they have. But volunteers is something that we significantly need right now.
What I'd like to do is have you next week talked about maybe what volunteers do, how they get involved in that, and then I guess thirdly, how many girls, and I know have gone through the ministry. I know it's been there 8 years, and Loretta was instrumental initially in that.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about that, a lot of other things. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate you asking.
Shanna Littleton is Director of Grace Haven Ministry here in Fairfield County. Great ministry, and it's been kind of fun to get to know Pastor Littleton and Shanna here during the last year. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners. Again, thanking the Fairfield Christian Academy, J.T. Bertram and the gang that puts this program together, our executive producer, Kelly Roberts, and certainly you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week. Join us next week. Shanna's going to return. Until then, buckle up, be safe, God bless, and we'll see you right here next week.
on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap us next Sunday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.